As a police officer, what is the kindest thing a suspect ever said to you? I'd been working late shifts for 2 years when I got the call about a kid shoplifting. Friday night, 11:30, another routine run to the grocery store on 5th Street. The manager was standing outside when I pulled up, shaking his head and pointing toward a scared-looking boy sitting on the curb. Caught him trying to walk out with formula and diapers, the manager said. But here's the weird part. No baby with him. Just stuffed everything under his jacket and tried to bolt when I called out. The kid looked maybe 14, all elbows and knees, wearing a torn jacket that was way too big for him. His eyes were red like he'd been crying, but he was trying to act tough. I walked over and sat down next to him on the curb. "What's your name, son?" He just stared at his shoes, wouldn't say a word. I helped him into the back of my cruiser, no handcuffs, just trying to get him somewhere warm where we could talk. For 10 minutes, he sat there silent, arms crossed, jaw set like he was ready for a fight. "Look, I'm not trying to jam you up here," I told him, "but I need to understand what's going on. You steal baby stuff, but no baby. Help me make sense of it." That's when he finally broke. Tears just started pouring down his face, and the whole story came tumbling out. His 17-year-old sister had a baby 2 weeks ago. Their mom walked out 6 months before, and their dad was doing time upstate for armed robbery. No adults, no money, no help from anybody. The baby had been crying non-stop because they ran out of formula 3 days ago. "My sister's too scared to leave the apartment," he said, wiping his nose on his sleeve. "She thinks people will see how young she is and take the baby away. So I figured I'd just, take what we needed." I asked him why he hadn't called social services or asked for help somewhere else. He looked at me like I was crazy. "Because people don't help kids like us," he said quietly. "They call CPS and split us up. Then the baby goes to strangers and we never see each other again." Something about the way he said it hit me hard. This wasn't some delinquent causing trouble. This was a scared kid trying to keep his family together the only way he knew how. I didn't say much on the drive to his apartment, just told him we'd figure something out. The place was worse than I expected. 3rd floor walk up, half the windows cracked, heat barely working. Inside was this tiny studio apartment with almost no furniture. The sister was maybe 90 pounds soaking wet, holding a baby that was sleeping in a dresser drawer because they didn't have a crib. She looked terrified when she saw my uniform. Started stammering about how they weren't doing anything wrong, how she was a good mom even though she was just 17. The baby was tiny but looked healthy, just thin like his mom. I told them I'd be back in 30 minutes and left. I drove straight home and grabbed everything I could from my kitchen. Canned soup, crackers, peanut butter, bread, anything that would last. Then I stopped at the 24-hour store and bought diapers, wipes, formula, bottles, and a little space heater because that apartment was freezing. When I came back, they both just stared at the bags like they couldn't believe what they were seeing. I told them it wasn't charity, just a loan they could pay back someday when things got better. The sister started crying again, but happy tears this time. She kept saying thank you over and over while she mixed up a bottle for the baby. As I was heading for the door, the boy grabbed my arm. "Officer Jared?" he said, reading my name tag. "Are you sure you're not my dad?" I stopped dead in my tracks. This kid who'd been so tough, so guarded, was looking at me like I was some kind of hero just for doing what felt right. "No," I said, "but I hope yours would have done the same." That sentence stuck with me for months. I started checking on them every few weeks, always unofficial, just dropping by to see how they were doing. Brought groceries when I could, helped the sister sign up for WIC, connected them with a church that didn't ask too many questions. The boy graduated high school 3 years later, valedictorian.